Mansa Musa, the richest man ever. Imagine a man so incredibly wealthy, his mere presence could make an entire continent's economy wobble. We're not talking about today's tech billionaires or 20th century oil tycoons. We're going way back. Over 700 years ago, deep in the Sahara Desert, there was a black king. His name? Mansa Musa. A name that reshaped financial history. This era, medieval Africa, held wonders often overlooked in Western history. This wasn't just any kingdom. This was the Mali Empire, a true powerhouse of influence, knowledge, and above all, gold. This West African empire was vast, covering an area larger than Western Europe. In this civilization, gold wasn't just a commodity. It was the very pulse of their society. It powered their trade, built their cities, and underpinned their entire way of life. This golden prosperity laid the foundation for Mansa Musa's legend. It was in 1312 that Mansa Musa I ascended to the throne. He inherited a prosperous empire, but under his vision it would become truly mythical. His predecessor, Abu Bakr II, had actually ventured across the Atlantic, leaving Musa to rule. If you thought Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos were the wealthiest ever, think again. You're about to meet a legend whose riches dwarfed anything we comprehend today. His fortune is often considered incomparable, even across millennia. Let's put his wealth into perspective. Mansa Musa's estimated net worth, adjusted to modern currency, an astonishing $400 billion. This staggering figure doesn't just place him at the top, it sets him apart in a category all his own. He could, quite literally, purchase entire nations without opening his royal purse. This wasn't merely being rich. This was absolute, undisputed financial dominance. Such concentrated wealth had never been seen before or since. The Mali Empire, during Mansa Musa's reign, was far more than just gold. It was a sophisticated civilization, intricately woven by knowledge, robust trade, and deep faith. Their societal structure was advanced, with thriving cities and well-established governance. Learning flourished, and commerce thrived. A complex web of established trade routes connected West Africa to North Africa, the Middle East, and even Europe. These routes were vital arteries for salt, gold, textiles, and scholarly texts. Salt, in particular, was as valuable as gold in many parts of the empire, essential for preserving food and maintaining health. The empire controlled vast salt mines, adding another layer to its immense wealth. Its strategic location made it a nexus of global commerce. Think of it as a meticulously engineered, colossal financial machine. Gold and resources flowed relentlessly across the Sahara Desert, like the mighty Nile River carves its path through Egypt. Caravans, sometimes thousands strong, journeyed for months across unforgiving terrain. Every speck of gold dust, every salt block, every handwritten manuscript, each was an integral part of this ceaseless economic current that propelled the empire. This intricate system allowed Mali to maintain its economic power for centuries. At the heart of this incredible financial engine was Mansa Musa himself. He wasn't just wealthy by chance, he was the master architect of this immense economic power. His leadership transformed existing resources into unparalleled prosperity. His policies and vision ensured Mali's wealth grew and benefited his vast empire and its people. He actively invested in his cities and citizens, fostering stability and growth. His leadership was as golden as the wealth he commanded. Mansa Musa's empire was also a beacon of learning. Timbuktu, often called the Pearl of the Desert, became a renowned center for Islamic scholarship. It housed one of the world's oldest universities, Sankore. Its universities and libraries attracted scholars from across the Muslim world. They came to study astronomy, mathematics, law, and theology, bringing their own knowledge and enriching Mali's intellectual life. This commitment to knowledge solidified Mali's standing as a sophisticated and influential civilization. Beyond Timbuktu, Other Malian cities like Jenne also flourished as centers of trade and Islamic learning. Mansa Musa personally funded many mosques and educational institutions, demonstrating his dedication to intellectual and spiritual growth. This made the empire a vibrant hub of cultural exchange. But Mansa Musa wasn't just a ruler focused on internal affairs or trade. He was also a devout Muslim, and his faith would soon lead him to plan an event that would astound the world, something truly unprecedented in history. He decided to undertake the Hajj, the sacred pilgrimage to Mecca. This wasn't just a personal spiritual journey for the emperor. It was meticulously orchestrated to be the most spectacular, awe-inspiring display of power and wealth the world had ever witnessed. It was a statement to the entire known world. The scale of this pilgrimage was simply mind-boggling. It said his entourage included tens of thousands of people, soldiers, officials, entertainers, and an army of servants. Imagine the logistical challenge of feeding and housing such a multitude across vast deserts. But the most incredible part? They brought with them an unprecedented amount of gold. Accounts vary, but estimates suggest his caravan carried hundreds of pounds of pure gold in various forms, bars, dust, and even gifted to those they encountered along the way. This was wealth weaponized, not for war, but for influence, generosity, and spectacle. As his caravan moved through Cairo, Egypt, the sheer volume of gold Mansa Musa distributed was immense. He gave freely to the poor and bartered lavishly, astounding the local populace. It caused the local gold market to crash. Prices plummeted and took years to recover, sending economic shockwaves throughout the region. This wasn't intentional, but it was a testament to his unimaginable riches and his generosity. Mansa Musa's pilgrimage wasn't just a religious act, it was a geopolitical statement. He put the Mali Empire firmly on the world map, revealing its immense wealth and sophistication to a global audience. European cartographers like those who created the Catalan Atlas began depicting him and his golden empire. His journey left an indelible mark on maps and in historical accounts, cementing his legacy not just as the richest man who ever lived, but as a ruler who reshaped perceptions of Africa and its rightful place in the annals of human history. His story is a powerful reminder of the incredible wealth, power, and intellect that flourished in medieval Africa. Mansa Musa's journey, the golden impact. A journey that would make the world know Mali. A journey that, quite literally, made gold prices across an entire region collapse. In this next chapter of our story, we'll travel with Mansa Musa across harsh desert dunes and through the continent's most splendid cities. We'll discover why sometimes being too rich can actually be a problem, and how the wealthiest man in history unwittingly rewrote economic rules through his sheer generosity. In 1324, Mansa Musa, the richest king the world had ever seen, began his fateful journey to the holy city of Mecca. But this was no mere trip of pure faith. When the enormous caravan finally approached Cairo, the bustling capital of Egypt, Mansa Musa's arrival created an immediate sensation. He wasn't simply a pilgrim seeking spiritual fulfillment. He became the living embodiment of unprecedented generosity. Gold was given away freely as gifts, and it was used to purchase goods at incredibly inflated prices. It was as if gold had no limits, as if it held no value at all in his eyes. He distributed gold, and then he distributed even more gold. So much, in fact, that the Cairo market simply couldn't absorb it all. The sheer volume was unlike anything the local economy had ever experienced. This was a profound declaration of financial power, a grand exhibition of the Mali Empire's prosperity to the entire Islamic world and beyond. The whole world would soon know Mansa Musa, and they would certainly know his gold. Try to picture this, a colossal caravan, unlike anything ever seen in history. Mansa Musa brought with him 100 camels, each carrying over 300 pounds of pure gold. In total, tons of gold moved slowly but surely across the vast, shimmering desert. This wasn't just a display of wealth, it was an incredible logistical feat. And it wasn't only gold. More than 60,000 people accompanied him on this epic pilgrimage. These included protective soldiers, numerous royal attendants, and also scholars, merchants, and skilled artisans. They formed a mini-society, a truly mobile city, trekking across vast stretches of desolate wilderness. This entire procession was a demonstration not only of immense riches, but also of an empire's incredible organizational power and logistical prowess. And then, the inevitable consequence occurred. When such an enormous amount of gold was suddenly injected into an economy, gold instantly lost its value. The purchasing power of local currency plummeted dramatically. Their everyday lives became significantly harder, illustrating the unintended chaos of extreme generosity. Goods rapidly became more expensive. The people of Cairo, who had initially rejoiced at receiving the lavish golden gifts, now faced severe inflation. Mansa Musa's economic lesson, inflation's gold standard. A king wanted to showcase his immense wealth and boundless generosity, yet he inadvertently harmed the economy of an entire foreign nation. This served as an incredibly costly lesson. The true value of anything depends on its scarcity. The Cairo inflation event wasn't just a footnote in Egyptian history. It cemented Mansa Musa's place as a symbol of how an overabundance of assets can ironically become a self-inflicted wound. It highlighted a fundamental economic principle in a dramatic, undeniable way. The lesson of supply and demand was vividly illustrated through this extraordinary story. Gold, ultimately, holds its value only when it remains scarce. This is a basic economic rule, remaining perfectly true to this day. It applies whether you're discussing gold, modern currency, or virtually any other commodity. Mansa Musa's actions became a living, breathing economics textbook for future generations. Mansa Musa's grand pilgrimage left behind a dual legacy. He put the Mali Empire firmly on the world map, showcasing its opulence and power to distant lands. However, he also unintentionally left an economic scar in Cairo, a stark reminder of uncontrolled wealth. In this next chapter, we'll delve deeper into what lessons Mansa Musa might have learned from this unforeseen blunder. We'll explore what steps he might have taken to rectify the financial upheaval he caused. From the bustling gold-laden markets of Cairo in 1324 to the frantic financial streets of Wall Street in 2023, the fundamental lesson about inflation remains unchanged. It's a timeless economic truth that transcends centuries and currencies. When currency, whether it's gold or dollars, is injected too rapidly or excessively into an economy, its inherent value inevitably begins to erode. This dilution of value slowly, silently, diminishes its purchasing power. Mansa Musa brought an enormous quantity of gold to Cairo, much like major central banks today inject trillions of dollars into economies. It was a sudden and massive surge in the money supply. This rapid increase overwhelmed the existing financial system. But whether it's gold or dollars, when the supply increases too quickly, the market simply cannot absorb it fast enough. The demand for that currency doesn't keep pace with its sudden abundance. And according to the basic law of supply and demand, the result is clear. Prices skyrocket. The real value of the currency plummets dramatically. And always the heaviest burden falls on the poor, those with the fewest assets to protect themselves from this erosion of value. These individuals are often the first to feel the pinch as their hard-earned money buys less and less. Their meager savings dwindle, making daily survival a constant struggle. When you see housing prices inflating wildly, or gas prices surging daily, or your favorite coffee suddenly becoming much more expensive, remember this crucial point. It's not just that the cost of goods is increasing. It's that the value of the very money you hold in your hand is being eroded. Your purchasing power is steadily decreasing. This silent shift in economic power impacts everyone, especially those on fixed incomes. And Mansa Musa, through his unprecedented generosity, inadvertently taught the entire world this profound economic lesson over 700 years ago. It's a principle that remains just as relevant and powerful today. His actions continue to echo through modern economic theories and discussions. Mansa Musa's enduring legacy, wealth reimagined. Unwittingly, through a seemingly benevolent act, Mansa Musa had created an unprecedented monetary crisis in the heart of the Middle East. It was a powerful, if accidental, demonstration of economic principles. Remarkably, that very same story is still unfolding today. The only difference is now, no one is riding camels carrying tons of gold across deserts. Instead, all of us are navigating volatile financial charts, experiencing similar economic shifts. Mansa Musa wasn't the only one who ever caused inflation. Modern governments and central banks routinely grapple with similar economic challenges. History provides countless examples of currencies losing value. But his story stands as an ancient mirror, brightly reflecting how wealth can inherently lose its value if we don't truly understand its mechanics. It shows us how crucial it is to comprehend and protect its underlying worth. This leads us to the most crucial question for you. Living in this era of global money printing, will you be the one who gains from these shifts, or will you be the one who loses value? Understanding these dynamics is key to safeguarding your financial future. After his fateful pilgrimage, Mansa Musa no longer viewed gold as the ultimate power. He had personally witnessed how it could, ironically, cause harm. His perspective on true wealth profoundly shifted. Musa returned to Mali, bringing with him something far more precious than any chest of pure gold. It was knowledge. And from that moment, he began to build something truly extraordinary. He set out to create a glorious empire of knowledge right in the heart of the unforgiving desert. Mansa Musa, with his visionary foresight, decided to invest not in lavish palaces or meaningless wars, but in education. He commissioned the construction of Sankore University, a brilliant academic center that attracted intellectuals from across the entire Islamic world. This decision solidified Timbuktu's reputation as a beacon of learning. This place was more than just a school. It became a colossal library, safeguarding over 700,000 ancient manuscripts. These texts covered everything from mathematics, astronomy, and philosophy to medicine, law, and especially finance. Through this profound acquisition of knowledge, Musa transformed gold from a potential burden into an effective management capability. He learned to truly understand and leverage its power. He didn't merely accumulate material wealth, he actively converted tangible assets, which are susceptible to devaluation, into intellectual assets. These are resources that simply cannot diminish in value over time. And that was true wealth. A prosperity measured by wisdom and the capacity for sustainable development, rather than by the sheer quantity of gold stored in a vault. His legacy shifted from pure material riches to enduring intellectual capital. Mansa Musa's enduring legacy, the power of knowledge. From a man whose gold caused an inflation crisis, Mansa Musa transformed into a pioneer of financial intelligence for an entire civilization. He demonstrated that true wealth extends far beyond material possessions. He showed that money and gold can lose value, even disappear entirely. But the skill to use money, the ability to manage finances effectively, and knowledge itself never become obsolete. That understanding is an intangible asset, yet it holds more enduring value than any precious metal. This makes it a timeless investment that truly lasts. You can possess gold, you can own countless sums of money, and you can also lose it all. But if you know how to leverage your assets to invest in knowledge, to sow seeds for future generations, then you are never truly impoverished. You've created an eternal value that transcends fleeting economic cycles. And that is the profound, ancient financial awakening from Mansa Musa. It's a lesson that remains absolutely true for our volatile world today. Never before had an African king entered the history books and maps of Europe in the way Mansa Musa did. His impact resonated across continents. When Western cartographers sought to depict the world they knew, the very first figure they placed at the center of West Africa wasn't a city, but Mansa Musa himself. He was literally a golden landmark. He appeared with gold in his hand, but he carried a far greater message. This message was about an empire that was not only materially rich, but also incredibly abundant in knowledge and wisdom. His presence altered global perceptions. Under Mansa Musa, Mali wasn't merely wealthy in terms of resources, it became a powerful hub of connection and exchange. He deliberately chose not to build his economy solely around gold treasures. Instead, he focused on the circulation of knowledge, fostering trust among merchants, and establishing a robust educational system. These pillars formed Mali's truly sustainable foundation. This was arguably the very first model for what we now call sustainable finance in Africa. Here, value wasn't just measured by currency. Instead, value was measured by the balanced development of its people and their collective knowledge. This holistic approach ensured long-term prosperity. Mansa Musa didn't just leave gold for future generations. He bequeathed a core economic model. True wealth isn't merely tangible value, but also the value of its use and its transference through knowledge. When we look back, we realize what made Mansa Musa the greatest legend. It wasn't the vast amounts of gold he possessed, or even the generosity that caused inflation. Mansa Musa's enduring legacy, the power of knowledge, but rather how he ignited human intellect, fostered systematic financial development, and created global connectivity through education and trade. This is his truly priceless legacy, enduring far beyond his lifetime. You don't need to be the richest king in history to create an incredible legacy. You just need to grasp and apply the profound lessons this king learned. He learned through failure, through a powerful awakening, and by building a resilient Malian empire, not just with military might or gold. He built it with the enduring power of knowledge. Don't just admire material wealth. Understand how it's truly created, and more importantly, how it's sustained and expanded. This isn't achieved with precious metals, but with knowledge, a lesson still vital after more than 700 years. Because sometimes the greatest financial history isn't found in colossal figures. It lies in individuals who transform setbacks into timeless lessons, building an invaluable legacy. Mansa Musa, his true legacy and modern relevance, but rather how he ignited human intellect, fostered systematic financial development, and created global connectivity through education and trade. This is his truly priceless legacy, enduring far beyond his lifetime. Mansa Musa, his true legacy and modern relevance. You don't need to be the richest king in history to create a great legacy. You just need to understand and apply the lessons this king learned through his failures and profound awakenings. He built a resilient Malian empire not just with military might or gold, but with the transformative power of knowledge. This blueprint for enduring influence remains vital. Don't just admire material wealth. Understand how it's genuinely created, and more importantly, how it's sustained and expanded. This isn't achieved with precious metals, but through knowledge, a lesson proven over 700 years. Sometimes the greatest financial history isn't in huge numbers. It's found in people who turn failures into eternal lessons, building an invaluable and enduring legacy. Mansa Musa's story offers precisely that kind of wisdom. More than 700 years later, Mansa Musa has returned to prominence, not just in history books, but as a social media phenomenon. His image floods the internet, hailed as the #1 billionaire of all time. But does this glamorous modern legend truly reflect the authentic Mansa Musa? Or are we simply admiring a version commercialized by algorithms and clicks? It's a crucial distinction to make. The truth is, no official documents precisely record how much gold Mansa Musa actually possessed. No one ever counted the exact number of gold bars in Mali's treasury. The colossal figures we hear today are all modern estimates, based on accounts from over 7 centuries ago. We only genuinely know he disrupted Cairo's economy with gold because Arab merchants witnessed the event and recorded it. And so, 700 years later, those magnificent, sometimes embellished accounts have transformed into financial memes across the internet. His historical impact now includes a digital footprint. Musa once caused inflation not only due to the sheer volume of gold he distributed, but also because of his burgeoning global reputation. His fame amplified the economic shockwaves. As his name spread across the world, his financial value and symbolic value began to merge. His generosity became a powerful, widely circulated legend.